Yahoo News, there's nothing new on Air India yet, except the theories and stuff are kind of, there's been a lot of stupid theories that have come out because people have gotten these fake India Transportation Board reports that don't exist. So there's no official preliminary report or anything. In fact, I think they just finally got the black boxes to where they need to be to start downloading them and decoding them and stuff like that. But there was an article, Doug, do you have that? Is that what this is? I brought this up last when we actually covered this, and I said, look, the investigators are going to look at everything. Mm-hmm. And people are like, well, it's obvious. We're like, well, nothing is obvious until we get there. But now the civil aviation minister is saying they're examining all possibilities, including sabotage, which is the correct answer. Because if you start ruling stuff out immediately, you may miss something. And I think in a place where they were just in a shooting contest, it is not unreasonable to look at all possibilities, because the odds of two engines on a modern airliner failing simultaneously without some known cause, i.e. birds, FOD, or whatever, very tough. It's a very tough thing to explain. So, yeah, like the minister's talking about, it's a rare case. It never happens that both engines have shut down together. So they're going to look at everything, including the CVR, what they were saying. The jet is very smart. It's going to look at all the parameters and what was happening. The only thing they've really kind of ruled out is the bird strike, because they have found no bird material. Plus, those engines are so big, it would take a lot of birds to have that kind of effect. And for both of them to flame out like that, although it did happen at the Hudson, those engines were still spinning. Gonky, what do you think, man? I mean, it's not really news, but it's news. It's kind of the latest update, which is they're looking at everything.
Yeah, I think it kind of stems from the fact that they're under pressure to get answers, right? So they've had the black boxes and the CVR for I think about a week now, and I was reading that they're in India. It's like, hey, what's the holdup? India says that they're not going to basically reach out to any other countries for any help. Although I think Boeing and GE already went over there, like we talked about before, just to see, hey, is it is there something that we need to put out as far as other engines on 787s or the airframe itself? But dude, they're under pressure to get some answers out there, and it's obviously not happening fast enough. And like you said, I think they owe it to all the victims and to the future of aviation to look into all possibilities. And dude, sabotage has happened numerous times in the past to airliners. I mean, it's unfortunately it's not, I mean, it's not that it's common, but it's not uncommon. So I think they're doing doing the investigation justice and looking at all possibilities.
Due diligence.
Yeah, due diligence
is really what it boils down to. I mean, you sometimes, simplest explanation. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes, I mean, it would not be the first time some sabotage or criminal act has brought down an airliner. They're going to look at mechanical. They're going to look at human factors. They're going to look at the Swiss cheese model, which I know some people hate, but it's the things that line up, right? Where you have mechanical plus human factors plus compounding emergencies and stuff like that. It's very rarely just hey, that's what did it. It's this happened. This then was the response, which was not exactly right, which was wrong. Like it always kind of cascades. We'll see.
It could be they could find a very obvious thing. I mean, it could be, ran out of gas. Well, okay, why? Right? I mean, it's not.
How do you run out? Yeah.
Right. Right. So that's not the end of. And I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it could be something very glaring that actually caused the airplane to crash. But then there's a bunch of causal factors that happened before that, and those, it's like we say, you stop that domino at any point there and it would have been prevented. So, I mean, it takes time to do a thorough investigation, especially on a crash like this.
So there's two things that kind of raise an eyebrow for me and just how long it's taken. One, the engines and the data presumably were out instantaneously. Like there's a lot of data coming from that aircraft at all times. So my question, and this is kind of going to be, what's next? Boeing is under the microscope because of, all their history, everything that's happened, the Jeju crash, all this stuff, MCAS, everything, 787 delivery problems. They've had to take them down for inspections and stuff like that. Boeing probably has a lot of information on this already, and so does GE.
Oh, yeah.
And there are a lot of operators with a lot of skin in the game, including U.S. operators. So my question is it an issue where the Indian government is not allowing them the information, or do they know? In which case, the fact that we haven't had any kind of serviceable, airworthiness directives, emergency notices to airline operators, the fact that nothing has come out in the several weeks since this has happened, is that an indication one way or the other, or is it a matter of Indian authorities aren't talking? Or they're, it's kind of a blackout. Because that first one is a bad thing, because if there is something that is affecting the entire fleet, we need to know about it right now. We don't need to know a causal, hey, we don't need the whole report. But if there's something like you're talking about where, something in the engines, the electronic systems, if there's something that could be replicated, every operator of a 787 needs to know that. And they need to be looking out for it. And they need to inspect these aircraft. But if it's something that Boeing already knows, then that kind of leads you down toward, they haven't put anything out yet. So it's probably, human factors or something, I don't know.
Yeah, they don't operate under FAA rules. What's the European
ESA
rules? There's wickets that they're supposed to meet as far as the investigation goes. And, as of right now, from what I've read, they're on timeline. But like you said, Mover, I mean, I kind of like we said the last show, I kind of think probably Boeing and GE have most, if not everything they need in determining, if they're, the issues with the engine or the airframe. But I mean, I don't know if they're sharing data. I have no idea how that's going on, because like I said, the Indians are doing their own investigation, and how they release the information that they find. I mean, that's anybody's guess at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen where near immediate they've issued emergency airworthiness direct. I mean, MCAS. Look how well, the first one they didn't, but the second one, I mean, they had that out fairly quickly,
right?
In terms of procedures to deal with that and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, when you've got multiple interests that stand to lose a lot, it kind of, you wonder how that muddies the waters, because so many different entities are going to try to save face versus finding the truth, which to me is the most important thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, 787s are still flying with no, surprise ADs or anything weird like that, and the motors are still, nothing crazy from the engine manufacturer. So I don't know, man. I mean, we just sit tight and hopefully that let the I think, dude, the black box CVR is going to reveal a lot.
Oh yeah.